Hello, I want you to go grab a paper and a pencil, and you're going to do these 8 problems with me. If you can do these 8 problems and you feel confident about them, you are ready for our test tomorrow. So go grab a paper, grab a pencil, and let's go. So the first ones we're going to work on is writing a ratio. So remember, we can write the ratio 3 ways. You can use the colon, you can use the word to, or you can write it as a fraction, and you have to put them in the order the problem asks. So we have a flower garden with 4 red flowers, 8 blue flowers, 9 pink flowers. What is the ratio of pink? So pink, we can see, is 9 to red. Red is 4. So pink, then red. So go ahead and write the ratio all 3 ways. All 3 ways, write the ratio, pink, then red. What is the ratio of blue? So if we look, blue has 8. And then the total, so we need to put those all together. So to find the total, we take the red and the blue and the pink, and we add those together to get the total. So the total is putting them all together. So this one's going to be blue, and then the answer to that addition problem. Blue, then total, write your ratio all 3 ways. Hey, the next section on your test is about equivalent ratios. So we're going to be using those simplified forms to help complete our charts and find ones that are the same. So if we look here, we can see that we have 4 and 6 is filled out. So how do I get from 4 to 2? Well, on this one, we want to get smaller, so we're going to divide by 2. So I do the same thing here. I do 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now this is what I want to use every time. I want to go back to my simplified form. So looking here, we're looking for this one. So we want to ask ourselves, how do we get from 12 to 3? So 3, 6, 9, 12, we had to times by 4 because now we're getting bigger. So if I did 3 times 4 here, on the other side, I need to do 2 times 4. So I don't just put 4 here. I have to do 2 times 4 goes here. So I'm going to let you fill in the chart. I'm going to help you think through it. You fill in the chart. So the answer to 2 times 4 goes here. So now we have 3 times 4, not 3, that says 2 times what to get to 14? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, that's 7 times. So we had a times by 7. 2 times 7 is 14. So now over here, I need to do 3 times 7 to get that answer. So notice we're not just necessarily skip counting. It doesn't have to go in order. Sometimes they do, but this one is just multiples of 2 and 3, not necessarily in order. So now how do I get from 3 to 24? I times by 8. So now over here, we need to do 2 times 8 and put the answer here. And then our last one, how do I get from 3 to 33? So I know 3 times 10 is 30. So it's one more group. So 3 times 11 is 33. So now over here, we need to do 2 times 11 to put our answer here. Okay, now over here, we're going to simplify the ratios to find the equivalent ratios. So we can see these people, they got chocolate candy, gummy candy. Once we're going to simplify them to see who is equivalent. So we're trying to think of what can these both be divided by. So 8 and 6, they're only 2 apart. They're both even. We're going to divide them both by 2. So if you'll write the simplified forms over here, and then the answer or circle who's the same will be great. So you don't need to recreate the whole chart. Just go ahead and write the 4 simplified fractions and then tell me who's equal. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So simplified, this is 4 to 3. Now we have 12 and 16. I can see they're 4 numbers apart. So I'm going to see, does 4 go into 12? Yes. Does 4 go into 16? Yes. So we need to divide those both by 4. 12 divided by 4 goes first. 16 divided by 4 goes second. I'm going to let you do those. 15 and 9. So they're 6 apart, but 6 can't go into 9. So we're going to start at 6 and go down. 5 can't go into both of them. 4 can't go into both of them. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yes, we're going to divide them both by 3. So 15 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3. Then we have our last one here. These are 5 apart. They end in 0 and 5. These are both divisible by 5. So 20 divided by 5, 15 divided by 5. And then either circle or write the two that are equivalent. So on your test, it's not going to have this last column here. It's just going to show you this. You need to know that you need to simplify them. That's the easiest way to compare them, is to simplify them and see which ones are the same. Okay, next up we have a section on unit rates. Remember, unit is 1, so we're trying to find out how much is 1. So it says Brianne drove 456 miles in 6 hours. So we have miles and hours. Get those labels. Miles, hours. You need your labels. I won't take your work without your labels. So we're going to put what we know, 456. We're dividing it by 6. And the question wants to know how many miles. So how many miles did she drive per hour? How many per 1 hour? We're trying to find 1 hour. I can see my hours are on the bottom, so 1 hour. So I'm asking myself, how do I get from 6 to 1? Well, I'm getting smaller, so I divide by 6. So I do the same thing up here. I divide by 6. So you're going to do 456, and you're going to divide that by 6. So you should have 3 things up here. So 456 divided by 6 will be your answer. So go ahead and figure that out. Next up, we have Freddie bought 14 hamburgers. So there's our first label, hamburgers, at the fair for a total of $67.34. So we're comparing it to money. So we have 14 hamburgers, cost $67.34. What was the cost per hamburger? So per 1 hamburger, we're trying to find that 1 hamburger. So I can see here's 1. Hamburgers is on the top this time. So how do I get from 14 to 1? I divide by 14. And here we divide by 14. So I'll help you out with this one a little bit. So we have $67.34 that we want to divide by 14. So I need something above the 6, the 7, and then there's my decimal, something above the 3, and something above the 4. So I know 14 can't go into 6. So we need to see how many times it goes into 67. So I'm going to start with times 5 just to see, should I go up or down? So there's 20, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, that's just a little bit too big. So we know they cost $4. So let's try 14 times 4. So we've got 16, 4, 5, 56. Make sure you have this work with me, not just the answer. So 1 left over, and bringing down a 3. So we can see 5 was too little. So another 14 makes 84. So another 14 makes, what was that, 84, 98. So that was 7. So let's try 8. How about? So 14 times 8 is 32. 8, 9, 10. Ooh, awesome. So that goes in there 8 times. And that was 112. 1 left over. Bring down the 4. 14 goes into 14 1 time. So every hamburger was $4.81. When I buy 14 of them, I get $67.34. Make sure you did that one as well. Okay, and then last up, we're going to apply that unit rate. When I know how much 1 is, then I can find out any other number. So this says Scotty can run 18 miles. So miles is our first label. And that takes 3 hours. 3 hours is our second number. So 18 miles in 3 hours. And we want to know how many miles can she run in 5 hours. Hours is on the bottom, so I'm putting 5 on the bottom. I don't have a nice way to get from 3 to 5. So I'm going to bring the 5 to the other side and multiply 18 times 5. So we need to do 18 times 5. And then we're going to divide that answer by 3. So whatever this answer is, we're going to divide by 3. And that will tell us how long she can run in 5 hours. Hey, next up, we have Rio washed 8 cars. So he washed 8 cars and earned $90. So we have cars and we have money. So he washed 8 cars and earned $90. So wants to know how many cars does he need to wash to earn $135. So dollars is on the bottom. 135. We don't know. I don't know anyways how to perfectly get from 90 to 135. So I'm going to move it to the other side and crisscross multiply 135 times 8. And then I'm going to divide that by 90 to see how many cars he needs to wash there to do that. So make sure you have all 8 problems with the work and an answer. And if you bring it back tomorrow, you get yourself 10 dojo points. So pretty good deal. That is getting 1 1/4 dojo points for each problem that you did. So bring that back tomorrow and let's pass our test.